Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Nilambujasyamalakomalangam Sita Samaropitavamabhagam Panau Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, who is very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, and he is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hand. Sri Ramcharitmanas, Aranyakand, and Doha number 27. The context of this stage is Rama is going after Maricha, and Rama has injured Maricha, mortally wounded. And Maricha dies taking the name of Lakshmana. Lakshmana kar prathamahi lehi nama, pache sumaresi manmahu Rama, pranata jagat pragatesi nija deha, sumaresi Ramu samet saneha. Maricha, when he was injured mortally, he calls out the name of Lakshmana, following the demoniac plan that was presented to him by Ravana, that you draw Lakshmana and Rama away so that Ravana can kidnap Sita. But when Maricha called Lakshmana name, deep in his heart, he is being led by divine love. So at the time of leaving his body behind, he remembers Rama. Antara prema tasu pahijana, muni durlabha gati dini sujana. Sri Rama, realizing the inner love that Maricha has, led Maricha to liberation, moksha, that which is difficult of attainment, even by great yogis. They go after riddhi, siddhi, not after liberation. Subtle point behind that. Remember, Maricha is mala, impurity. Impurity is in two stages, conscious level and subconscious level. Rama had dispelled Maricha early time before, but Maricha was not killed. He was in the subconscious state. And now Maricha has been sublimated. Subtle point behind all this story is Rama is playing the role of avatara, incarnation, whose purpose is to destroy Ravana. Ravana is ignorance. And pursuing the purpose, Rama is enacting the drama of being separated from Sita. Remember, when Lakshmana was away, Rama told Sita to stay with the fire god. The real Sita stayed with fire god. Subtle meaning behind it. Fire god is the gateway to liberation. In Uttarayana Marg, northern path, the path begins with Agni Jyoti Aha. Agni means fire, and fire means Vairagya, dispassion. So in brief, it is not a tragic situation, but externally it seems like a tragic situation. And for Maricha, this is a positive movement. Mala, role of Mala is like short-circuited energy. When you have short-circuited disturbance in your kitchen, you call FPL, you get it corrected. Correcting a short-circuited energy, on one side, the short-circuited symptom is going to pass away. And so it is tragic for the short-circuited system. Maricha inwardly holds immense love for Rama. A short-circuited energy is in a turmoil. When sublimated, it becomes relaxed, joyous. So Maricha is following a subtle love for Rama. Scriptures talk about Vari Bhakti, devotion to God led by animosity. You remember your enemy. For short-circuited energy, that type of bhakti is applied. Maricha has Vari Bhakti with Rama. Ravana also has similar Vari Bhakti. Even Ravana begins his project of kidnapping Sita internally with great love that he will be sublimated by Rama. Tulsidasi doesn't hold anything in suspense. Deep down, Ravana also is a great devotee of Rama. And that mystical illustration or presentation of spiritual movement that has become dynamic. When spiritual movement is dynamic, the positive energy and negative energy within you, the energy of the higher self, the energy of the lower self, both become activated. The energy of the lower self becomes activated to be sublimated. And higher self energy is activated to cause the sublimation in an effective way. विपुल सुमन सुर बरसहि बरसहि गावहि प्रभु गुण गान निज पद दीन असुर कहूं दीन बंधु रघुनाथ. During this time when Maricha was sublimated, gods began to shower flowers, singing the praises of Lord Rama. Shri Ram, they were saying in their offering of their stuti, adoration to Rama, they said, Rama is Deen Bandhu. Deen term literally is poor. Rama is friends of the poor. Blessed are the poor, for they will have the kingdom of heaven. As Bible expresses, same implication. Poor means developing an insight that you possess nothing of this world, not even your body, not even your pranas, not even your mind, senses, not even your ego. You are possessionless. Nothing belongs to you. How poor. But in that state of understanding, nothing belongs to me, there comes the opportunity for revelation. Who am I? Whoever you are, closer you are to the revelation. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. So God is Dinabandhu, friend of the poor. And so they were glorifying Rama for bringing salvation for Maricha. Kalabadhi Surat Phire Raghubira, Soha Chap Kar Katitu Nira, Arat Gira Suni Jab Sita, Kahalachimana San Param Sabhita. Having promoted salvation of Maricha, having killed Maricha, Rama began to return. He is holding in his hand bow, his waist is decked with discus. But in the meantime, Arat Gira Suni Sab Sita, Kahalachiman San Param Sabhita. Sita heard the voice of Maricha. Maricha, at the time of dying, cried out, "O Lakshmana, O Lakshmana," creating a voice like Rama. So Sita heard as if Rama was in danger and he was crying for Lakshmana's help. And at that time, Lakshmana was with Sita, protecting her. When she heard this voice, "O Lakshmana, O Lakshmana," she said to Lakshmana, "Jahu beg sankata ati bhrata, Lakshman bihasi kaha sunu mata, Bhriku biti bilas सृष्टि लय होई, सपने हूँ संकट परई की सोई." Rama said to rather Sita said to Lakshmana, "Quickly, go to where your brother is. He is in great danger." Lakshmana laughed and said, "Oh mother, how can Rama be in danger? Even within the twinkle of an eye, he can destroy the entire universe, as well as he can create the whole universe. How can Rama be in danger? Even in dream, you cannot view Rama is in danger." Maram bachan tab Sita bola, Hari prerit Lakshman man dola, Ban disi dev सौंपी सब काहू, चले जहाँ रावण शशि राहु. Sita spoke words that are hurtful to Lakshmana's feeling. She began to scold Lakshmana that you are a coward. You are afraid of your life. And similar words, Hari Predit Lakshmana Manadola, and Lakshmana's mind was dominated by her scold. And therefore Lakshmana, having invoked the presiding deities of the forest, O deities, O gods, protect Sita. Having secured that, he went towards Rama. Chale jahan Ravan Sati Rahu is a poetic description. Ravana is compared to moon, and Rama is he who eclipses the moon. That's just a poetic detail. Soon beach das kandhar dekha, awa nikat yati ke besha. When Lakshmana had gone away, Sita was alone now in the cottage. And Ravana, in the guise of an ascetic, a saintly person, approached towards where Sita was. जाके डर सुर असुर डराही निशिन नींद दिन अन्न न खाही. Ravana, whose presence was so frightful that gods and demons all would tremble before Ravana. So afraid they could not have good sleep during the night and couldn't eat their food with proper appetite. So दशशीष स्वान की नाई इतुत चितई chala bhadiyai. That Ravana, so powerful in the project of stealing Sita, he acted like a timid fox. In other words, the moral is being brought. No matter how powerful you are, if you follow the path of being a stealer, all your power vanishes and you become a coward. So don't steal. That's a simple message. So even that Ravana, with great fright, goes towards the project of kidnapping Sita. Imi kupant pagaped det khagesha rahna tejatan buddhi bal lesha. O Garuda, Kagabhushundi is telling the Ramayana to Garuda, the vehicle of Lord Vishnu. That part we have already mentioned. What is he saying? That whoever follows the path of Kumarga, Sumarga. Marga is a path of spiritual evolution. If you are following it in the right way, called Sumarga or Sanamarga. If you are going in a wrong way, then it's called Kumarga. If you follow Sumarga, there is no end to your energy and strength. You will discover your strength. For the moment you begin to follow Kumarga, your strength oozes out of you gradually. So for spiritual strength, turn your attention to following the path Sanmarga, more profoundly, practice integral yoga in daily life. Turn your whole life, four-aspected movement in your life, your action, your emotion, your will, your reason. All these four must follow the path of karma, bhakti, dhyana, and jnana. A rhythmic practice of yoga is like bringing a melodious music through harmonized chords. And that movement brings amazing effulgence of your soul, an amazing strength of your will. Ravana wants to take Sita away, and in this stealthy movement, Ravana is gripped by strange weakness, and it is poetically described by Tulsidas Ji. Just like a dog wants to steal something from the kitchen, puts his head into the narrow necked pot, and head gets caught. And he takes the whole pot and runs. So all through, his head is in danger. That's the illustration of negative movement, the doggy movement. Nana vidhi kari katha suhai, Rajaniti bhai preeti dekai. Ravana told many wonderful stories and exercised politics, fear, as well as love. He made the display playing politics about what his project is, that he is going to make Sita queen, etc. That we will see soon. And also he showed tremendous love. He exercised showing love, showing fear, and exercise politics. Rajaniti, bhai, and priti. Kah Sita sunus gasat jati gosai, bodehu bachana dushta ki nai. O ascetic, Sita said to Ravana, you appear a saintly person in appearance, but your words are the words of a wicked soul, the words of a dushta, the wicked one. तब रावण निज रूप दिखावा, भई सभय जब नाम सुनावा. Ravana then showed his real form, 10-headed monster, and told his name, who was he. He was the king of Lanka. Sita became frightened, but at the same time, plucking her courage, Sita said, you wicked one, wait. Soon Rama is coming. Jimi hari budhi shudra samaj sasachaha Bhayati kalabas nishicharanaha. Just as a lioness cannot be grabbed by a rabbit. You are just a rabbit. I am a lioness. The idea of grabbing me means you are going to be destroyed. Sunat bachan data shri sana manmoh charan bandi sukhamana. Hearing the words of Sita, Ravana became exceedingly angry. But at the same time, internally, he bowed at the feet of Sita and found immense delight. This is again Bhari Bhakti. Ravana has started all the project. Externally is a terrifying project. But behind the project is the vision of being sublimated, short-circuited energy being sublimated. That short-circuited practices Bhari Bhakti. A devotion that will lead to sublimation. क्रोधवंत तब रावण लीन सिरत बैठाई चला गगन पथ आतुर भय रतहा कि न जाई. Now apparently, internally, that is at the heart level, Ravana is settled internally in a divine project, and he knows it. Externally, he continues like an acting. Ravana took Sita and made her sit on his chariot, and his aerial chariot began to fly through the sky. But at the same time, Ravana was under great fright. He was unable to drive the chariot in a healthy way. And Sita ji was weeping and crying. Ha jag ek kabir raghuraya, kahin aparad pisare hu daya. O Rama, incomparable, one without a second, you Rama, for what fault have you forgotten me? O Lord, why have you forsaken me? Arati haran sarana sukhadayak, har raghukul saroj din nayak. You are the remover of all pain. Arati haran. Arati. It is not arati. Arati means waving light. But arati. Rati is a delightful movement. Arati is that goes in a negative way. All distressing situations are arati. The arati haran. And God takes away all the distress, all your problems. If you turn to God with the spirit of surrender and develop devotion to God. And in the lineage of Raghu, you are like a lotus. You are like the sun for blessing a lotus to bloom. Ha lachiman tumhar nahi dosa, so phalupayam kinhe rosa. And Sita began to regret about having scolded Lakshmana. O Lakshmana, there was no fault of yours. I am reaping the harvest of my own negative karma. विविध विलाप करति वैदेही भूरि कृपा प्रभु दूरि सनेही. Sita began to cry in many ways. Alas, Lord's grace is boundlessly upon me, but that Lord is far away. विपत्ति मोरी को प्रभु सुनावा पुरोदास या रास खावा. Who will relate my trouble to Sita, to Rama? Sita is crying. This, just like a sacred food, is being eaten by a donkey. A donkey stealthily has entered in a sacred area and wants to steal away the sacred prasad that worked hard to collect and with great devotion prepared. You didn't do that, all that for the donkey. Rama, having broken Shiva's bow, married Sita. All that he did. And now the donkey, Ravana, wants to take me away. सीता कै बिलाप सुनि भारी भय चराचर दीव जीव दुखारी. Hearing the cry of Sita, all souls, all the birds, beasts, trees, kind of misery towered over all. All became sad and distressed. It's allegorical. If you are in pain, the whole world becomes dark and looks negative. गीधराज सुनि आरत बानी रघुकुल तिलक नारी पहिचानी. अधम निशाचर लीन्हे जाई जिमि म्लेच्छ बस कपिला गाई. Now, Jatayu was constantly protecting Rama's ashram. Jatayu is vulture, but playing an allegorical role. Vulture term means, vulture is called Gridhra. Greed comes from that source. Greed is like a vulture. You have greedy vision, it's called vulturous vision. But that greed is sublimated by ritual stage of practice. Sadhana is practiced in the kindergarten level, where you are giving importance to rituals. Your mind is constantly focused on doing your puja in a right way, sitting in a right way, collecting all the materials, lamp, oil, camphor, incense, all in the right way. I'm just giving a humorous way to say. So many things you attend on it. All the detail, later you will transcend it. But in the beginning, they are very important. If you have a good ritualistic setting, you go further, advance. If you don't have it, then there is you are lacking your spiritual movement. The role of ritual is presented by Jatayu. How well performed ritual gives a terrible blow to ignorance. Ignorance is Ravana. And soon you will see what Jatayu will do. And soon he will be introduced to Jatayu's brother, Sampati. There were two brothers, Jatayu and Sampati. First is the ritual level is Jatayu. Practice of deep samadhi, that's called Sampati. In Sanskrit word is Samapatti. That is state of samadhi that makes you deeply involved with, suppose you are meditating on Rama. Samapatti means you become identified with the object of your meditation to such an extent that there is no other awareness but simple identity. Samapatti. That both stages, ritual stage and samadhi stage, they are awaiting in Rama's movement. Rama is soul turning towards revelation. Who am I? Soul turning towards a process of discovering Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. The I am Brahman movement is Rama within you. Rama potential, realizing, turning to realization. I am Ram. And I will be stopping at this stage. Om Ram 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 Ram. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Ras, grace of God over all of you with the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarupum Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Amritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukh Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat.